Happy Sunday, October 1st to all of you. We are 2 hours away from kickoff. Welcome to NFL Pub Hub. This is my favorite show of the week. We have 9 cappers joining us today. 9. Man, Bobano, Birdie, Ragu, LJ, Flash, Clint, Wham Bam, Dave Rogers, and Sharpie closing it all up. 9 cappers ready to rock. So many great cappers in the chat ready to rock as well. It's great to see all of you guys. Justin McElvey, stacks play of the day. Waddle over 69.5 receiving yards. I'm going to copy and paste my guy Justin McElvey's action. We have so much work to do, and we got to get right after it because we have got 9 guests. Rob Garvey, Nuke Worker, Tenacious D's, Primetime 99, Spenny Penny Bombs with his action. Thank you for sharing that. He already cashed the Ridley TD this morning. I love it. I love it. Let me get Spenny's action here. You'll see Spenny on the show a lot this year. He placed second out of 21 cappers in last year's NFL Pub Hub. So you will see him. Let's get him back on, at least get him next week, get him back rolling with us. I've got all this. Spenny, all your action here. Copied and pasted, my friend. There's Big Daddy Boom, Ian Shaber, Brad Oliver, Brad Summersell, Slatsy. Yeah, Slatsy, beautiful. I went 3-1 in CFL, 4-1 in college football, but we got a lot of action out there today. So let's get through. Let's succeed here today before I start getting too pleased with the events. Nate Dogg 420, Tori Kokarani, Umbergia, Sammy Comer, Grizzle A. Thank you guys all for rolling with us. So my action: Bills minus 2.5, Miami Buffalo first half under 27, Baltimore Cleveland under 41, Cincinnati Tennessee under 41.5, the Colts minus 1. The lone mistake that I feel with my action at this point was moving on Tampa Bay +3 at even money. Should have just been patient. Could have got the 3.5 with no extra vig. I'm on the under 40.5 in that one. I'm on Minnesota, Carolina over 45.5. KC, New York Jets under 42.5, and the Giants -1. That is my action, and I have a lean towards, or a possible addition would be the Vikings first half, and would be Steelers Texans under. The biggest injury news that we have for you is all around quarterbacks. Jimmy G is out for the Raiders. Derek Carr for the Saints is still a game time decision. Browns' Deshaun Watson is expected to play. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson is back, as is Bryce Young. Northander says Tampa Bay is +4 now. Yeah,
Watson's out.
Watson is out. Wow. That is huge news. Watson is out. Wow. Wild. Yeah, Brad Oliver says Watson is out. Same with Penny Bombs. Wow. All right. Big news there. Watson is out. So let's get to work and bring on your first guest. Last year's NFL Pub Hub champion. And we love having him hit leadoff for us. So please welcome from Canada's black and yellow, Steeltown, Hamilton, Ontario, Mr. Ian Cameron to the show. Bobano, how are you, my friend?
I am ready, Jimmy. Big NFL Sunday. Let's go.
Let's get right to work. You start with the game that Londo is talking about right now. Miami Dolphins at Buffalo Bills, Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. This place is going to be absolutely rocking today. 71 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour. Jordan Poyer out. That's a big issue. Taylor Rapp will be starting opposite Micah Hyde. A lot to do. Damar Hamlin making his 2023 debut. The place is going to be absolutely electric. For the Dolphins, outside linebacker Jalen Phillips, oblique, is out. Ahmed is out, or expected to be out. Teron Armstead still dealing with all these injuries. Connor Williams, extremely important on the line, is got a groin injury. He's questionable. And Deshaun Elliott, safety, is questionable as well. Let's get into the line history here for this one. First off, the total is at 53.5. I'm on the first half under 27. It opened up at 54. It's dropped to 53.5, and it is juiced to the under. You could get even money on the over. And let's get over to the side in this one. Sorry, I thought that I got both totals up. My apologies. That won't happen. Let me get the side up here. And on the side, we have Buffalo sitting at -2.5. That 2.5 is juiced to -116. It was -117. It did open at -106. So there's still a move towards the Buffalo Bills. And from a cash situation, you have 51% of the tickets and 76% of the cash on the Buffalo Bills, and 82% of the tickets, but just 57% of the cash on the over. Bobano, the floor is yours, my friend. Take it away.
Yeah, square play of the day, over for me in this game with Miami and Buffalo. I guess you could say that. I mean, it seems obvious that we're going to see points in this game, but the question does remain: are we going to see 53 plus points? You know, that is a high total. I don't definitely get it, but yeah, over 53 -110 looks like the best line right now at PointsBet. So we'll lock that in right now. Look, the best offense the Dolphins have faced this year is the Chargers in week one, and they still gave up, a boatload of points, 34 in that game, even though they won. Patriots and Broncos, obviously, not quite on that same level. And Buffalo is going to be the best offense they've played since they faced the Chargers. The Buffalo offense, they had that bad game against an elite defense in the New York Jets, and since then they've gone on to put up 37 and 38 points. Last year, 2 meetings in Buffalo, both got into not only the 50s, but the 60s in total points, 32-29, 34-31. It just feels like there's just too much offense on both sides. I don't like the injuries in the secondary for the Bills, especially against this Miami passing attack. But again, this Miami defense, like I said, I think their pass rush is solid, but I think the Bills can stave it off. And I think when you look at Buffalo's balance this year that they've shown running and passing can give the Dolphins defense fits. Dolphins defense that, like I said, only faced one really good offense this year and struggled against it. So over 53 for me, Dolphins Bills.
Do you want a 52.5 at -117?
Oh, really? There is one out there. Shit.
At Pinnacle.
Wow. Absolutely. Yep.
52.5 at -117.
I'm getting on the text to BetStamp and say you got stale lines on your app right now. 53.5 is what they have listed for Pinnacle there.
There you go, 52.5. Bobano is on the board. We move on to Minnesota Vikings at Carolina Panthers. Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. 77 Fahrenheit, sunny, 7 miles per hour. The weather's beautiful across America today, so no weather issues whatsoever, but a lot of injury issues. Garrett Bradbury, the center for the Vikings, still with this back injury, and Marcus Davenport has missed the last 2 games. Danielle Hunter has to do all the heavy lifting. They're not getting enough of a pass rush without Davenport. He was the signing in the offseason to try and help all of that. For the Panthers, Xavier Woods, the safety, is out. We watched Shaq Thompson go out for the year as well. They are dealing with issues. Frankie Louvu, also a hip injury, questionable. It's tough. And Adam Thielen coming off a huge day because of Jonathan Mingo dealing with the concussion. We'll see if that continues this week. I got in on the over at 45.5. Right now, this over is at 46 at Pinnacle at -109. I was hoping it would go higher than that. This was actually juiced to -120, 3 days ago. So it's now at -109. I guess that makes me a little nervous, but I still like the spot for the over. And when we talked about Bryce Young being in, this spread is now 4.5 at Pinnacle. This opened up with Minnesota -3. They're all the way to 4.5. We get over to the cash flow. I've thought about taking the Vikings first half, and I want to hear the breakdown from Bobano. 70% of the tickets, 53% of the cash on the over. Some bigger bets coming in on the under. That concerns me. And from a spread scenario here, 65% of the tickets and 79% of cash on the Vikings. Bobano, take it away.
Yeah, this is the first bit of my card here. It's over Fiesta. This is another one here for me. And Carolina is not a team I've looked at as an over team. That being said, I did cash an over at a very low total last week with them in Seattle. This is all about the injuries Carolina is dealing with. They're still without Shaq Thompson, too, one of the leaders on defense, linebacker. He got injured that night we were on the Monday night stream against the Saints. He's out. You mentioned it. Xavier Woods. That's not a great secondary to begin with. Joe Horn's already out. And, of course, J.C. Horn, I should say, and Xavier Woods is out now. And then you've got, you mentioned it, the linebacker that might not play as well. I mean, it's just a littered with injuries defense right now for Carolina. And that's not good, obviously, because the one thing Minnesota can do is score some points, run the ball, make some plays through the air, depleted secondary. That's not what you want to see when you got to try to match up with Justin Jefferson. So that's going to be trouble. I see Minnesota moving the ball quite effectively here against Carolina. But you mentioned it. Minnesota's got no pass rush. So I know Carolina's got a rookie quarterback. Bryce Young's back and starting today. I know the O-line's been an issue for Carolina. They've had all kinds of problems there. But they're finally, I think, facing a team that really lacks any sort of pressure consistently on opposing quarterbacks. And Carolina's faced a lot of teams that can get pressure. Minnesota ain't one of them. So for me, this is an opportunity for Bryce Young to get his sea legs under him, get some confidence, and really pick apart a team that can be picked apart in the secondary. And we've seen it repeatedly. This is just not a very good Vikings defense. So, yeah, this is another game. I think we're going to see plenty of points. There's a good weather day across the league. It'll be more of the same here in Carolina. So over 46, minus 110 at Pinnacle.
You got it. You are locked in there. What do you think about the Vikings first half at -3? I know that I would late to the party.
At 3 or less, I definitely lean Vikings. I'm actually probably going to put a small penny or two on the Panthers now. And dare Kirk Cousins to lay 5 points on the road, which I don't trust him to do, even with this injury-riddled Carolina team.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I'm hesitant. But I'm going to leave it as a question mark for myself. All right, let's roll on.
These are 2 0-3 teams, after all. Can you really trust either of them?
We go from these 0-3 teams to 2 more 0-3 teams. Denver Broncos at Chicago Bears, Soldier Field, Chicago, Illinois, 74 Fahrenheit, sunny, 5 miles per hour. And the Broncos have some key injuries right now. Frank Clark and Josie Jewell both out, as is Mike Purcell, the defensive tackle. I mean, this is a huge loss to the defense. We saw what happened with these guys not available against Miami. They were torched. And now Justin Simmons is questionable with the hip injury. And the same deal with the Bears. We watched Kyler Gordon go down in week 1. And now Jalen Johnson and Eddie Jackson, cornerback, safety, and then defensive back Josh Blackwell are all out. This is a problem, a big problem. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. We have the Broncos sitting at a -3. You know, at Pinnacle, this never got to 3.5. So we got this heavily juiced -3 at -122. But this has come down right now. It's just a -110 for the Broncos here. And then from a total side of things here, we have it's sitting at 46.5. This is juiced to the over. It opened up at 45.5. So we have a 1-point move to the over. And from a cash flow standpoint with this one, we have 67% of the tickets and 56% of the cash on the Broncos. So there are some bigger bets coming in on the Bears, and 53% of the tickets and 63% of the cash on the over. Bobano, take it away.
Yep, over again. Another game that should be a lot of points here in this one. Denver, Chicago. Just trying to see what we got here. It looks like over 46.5. Let's go with the -104 that's out there. ProLine Plus has over 46.5 at -104 right now. So we'll lock that in. Very, very simple. These are 2 bottom-tier defenses. And I know the offenses are sketchy, especially on the Chicago side. But these defenses are not only injury-riddled, they flat out stink. I mean, the Bears they've been torched by every good quarterback and offense. Hell, even Jordan Love and the Packers went up and down the field against Chicago in week 1. We saw what the Chiefs did last week. Say what you will about Denver. Their offense has been good enough. It's been functional. It hasn't been the biggest problem for their issues with Russell Wilson. I think they're going to just pick apart the second. The secondary is just awful for the Bears. So Russell Wilson and his receiving core, Sutton and Judy and company, they should be able to get going here in this game. But, what's the one thing Chicago can do on offense? Run the football. They have very little passing game. And it's mostly Justin Fields trying to run the ball. But here's Denver coming into this game with the dead last rushing yard defense. 177.7 yards per game allowed on the ground, 5.6 yards per carry. That's hideous, man. 5.6 yards per carry, 31st in the NFL against the run as far as yards per rush are concerned on defense. So Chicago actually should be able to do what they want to do best in this game, and that's run all over this Denver team, specifically I think Justin Fields over rushing yards is probably a very good prop in this game as well. I'm not making that official, but I will have a few bucks on that. Over 46.5 for me.
You got it. Over 46.5 is locked in. Let's move on to Ravens Browns. Just hearing that Deshaun Watson will not be in the lineup. Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, 71 Fahrenheit, sunny, 7 miles per hour. Let's get to the line history here for this one. We have Baltimore now a 1-point favorite, a big move in the market. So even at 10:38 this morning, I guess news came out because at 8:41 this morning, the plus 2.5 was minus 103. And then at 10:30 this morning, it was minus 122. And then at 10:40, this was a minus 1 for the Ravens. That minus 1 is juiced to minus 119. From a total side of things here, we have it sitting at 38.5 at Pinnacle. It's 38 at BetChris. And I got in on the under on Tuesday night at 41, under 41 here. We have a litany of injuries for the Ravens. And I know, look, Deshaun Watson being out is a huge deal for the Browns, but for the Ravens, Odell Beckham Jr., Rashad Bateman, they are both out. So is Marlon Humphrey, their cornerback. They got 2 outside linebackers, in Owe and Ojabo, that are both out. Ronnie Stanley is doubtful. And then you have the center, Tyler Linderbaum, with his ankle injury, questionable, as is safety Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton. I mean, my goodness. So we're going to see Dorian Thompson-Robinson for Cleveland today. And from a cash flow perspective, I mean, it's kind of with the announcement just now, I don't know if this is really that important, but we have 70% of the tickets, 93% of cash on the under, and 53% of tickets, 61% cash on the Ravens. Bobano, take it away.
They're just too banged up to take Baltimore, in my opinion. Just way too banged up with all these injuries. That's 2 of their top receivers, Beckman and Bateman. Who the fuck's going to catch footballs for Lamar? Zay Flowers? I mean, nobody else. Who else? Who do they have? I mean, my goodness. I mean, they're just absolutely decimated at receiver right now. And then the defensive injuries, you mentioned it. Linebacker cluster injuries. Marlon Humphrey, the best cornerback. Ronnie Stanley. That offensive line, it's unbelievable all these years that he's been on these injury reports year in and year out, and the difference in that O-line with him playing and with him not. I mean, every single time, it's a massive difference. There's no question. I get it. There's no Deshaun Watson. Here's what you do. Here's what you don't do if you're going to win in the NFL long term. You don't knee-jerk overreact and bet against quarterback injury situations. You have to evaluate the change. Are you going from someone that's really good to someone that's shit? Are you going from someone that's really good to someone that may be competent, might be serviceable, might be able to maybe take a defense by surprise? I think we're going from an okay but not great quarterback with Deshaun Watson. I know he had a good game last week, but Tennessee's got some issues in the secondary. I know he played well last week. I think of him as an okay but not great quarterback right now, Deshaun Watson. So we're going to a rookie. I get it. First ever NFL start, DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I have to evaluate, are we going from a very good quarterback to a bottom of the barrel, horrendous quarterback? My answer in this change of quarterback for Cleveland is no. We're going from an okay, decent, sometimes good when he's having a good day in Watson, quarterback, to I think a guy that can come in there for one game against a banged up defense, remember his athleticism and how good it can be. You've got an elite offensive line. You're a very good one. You're a team that loves to run the football. You're going to rely on that. And even without Chubb, you've got some guys that can run it. You're going to shorten the game. It's exactly what you're going to do. And DTR has got the moxie, in my opinion, because I watched this kid at UCLA. Look what he did in the preseason. Now it's, again, number 1 NFL starting defense today you're going to be up against. I get it. Maybe he's not going to be ready for it, but he showed you something in the preseason, making plays, making good decisions with the football, using his athleticism. I don't give a damn that Watson's out. There's too many injuries here for Baltimore. I'm on Cleveland, +2, -110 points bet.
Wonderful.
Just better in the trenches, too. Much better.
Absolutely interesting look from Bobano on the Browns +2. Razor Sharp picks moving live right now on the Falcons +10.5 in the
They got a little momentum finally after that London touchdown. So
next
I
up,
have Jacksonville -3. I'm starting to get a little tense.
We've got to be quick here,
Yep.
Bobano. We have 4 games left. So we have Rams, Colts here right now. Alaric Jackson, a very important left tackle, is dealing with a hamstring injury. That's the most important issue for the Rams. I mean, Higbee has the Achilles, and he need, that's going to help the offense if he's in there. And Skronik, also with the Achilles injury. So, but Alaric Jackson, they need badly. On Monday night, it was Zach Thomas trying to fill in, and it was not good. For Alaric. Then Anthony Richardson, full participant, ready to go today. So let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Rams, Colts, a bunch of cappers are talking about this game today. The total is sitting at 45, juiced to the under. It got up to 46. The 46 was juiced to the over. That has changed. It's now 45, juiced to the under. And from a side perspective, I am on the Colts. I am very nervous about this. You're going to hear people on this show on the other side of this bet. The Rams opened up at +1, and they're now -1 point favorites. Dog to favorite. I did not like the travel schedule that the Rams did, but I'm very nervous about this spot. When we take a look at the cash flow for this one, move over here. Sorry, take me a second. Should have had it up. We have 71% of the tickets, 74% of the cash on the Rams, 56% of the tickets, 64% cash on the over. Bobano, take it away.
We can move on to the next one. I was going to use this game as an official play. I don't feel good. I'm worried about the injury situation. I lean Colts. I don't lean strong enough to bet it. I lean over, but I don't know if I want that. If Alaric Jackson's not going to play, I mean, that offense didn't work, against Cincinnati after he left that game on Monday night. So I'm going to leave it alone. We can move to the next one.
We will move on. By the way, Quentin Nelson with the toe injury and DeForest Buckner with a back and groin injury are questionable for the Colts. Ryan Kelly is out. We move on to Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints. We have heard that Carr is good to go. That was reported to us by Slatsy about 5 minutes ago. We have a lot of injuries here, and this very good Buccaneers D is beat up. Kalijah Cansey, defensive tackle with the calf injury. You have their linebacker Dennis with a hamstring injury, Jamel Dean with neck and shoulder injuries, their cornerback Derek Pitts with a hamstring injury, and Vita Vea is questionable. So is Carlton Davis and Devin White. I mean, Carlton Davis, Devin White. I mean, we're talking about key cogs for this squad. And Alvin Kamara coming back for the Saints after the 3-game suspension. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles things. And again, it looks like Carr will be in. From a side scenario here, we're sitting at a 4. I'm extremely uncomfortable. It was just bad. I handled this poorly. There's nothing else to say. I've beaten every single other line move, but this one went heavy against me. I should have waited. I've got the 3, and I look like an idiot. This total is sitting at 41. It opened up at 39.5. That makes me nervous. I'm on the under 40.5. This whole game is a concern for me at this point right now. Cash-wise, 77% of the tickets and 86% of the cash is on the Buccaneers. So you're telling me that nobody's betting the Saints and the line's moving towards them? Is that just because Carr is going to be announced in? I don't think it is. I think I'm in big trouble here. But you are going to hear cappers who are on the same side as me. 53% of the tickets, 78% cash on the under, and it's going up. Take it away, Bobano.
Wow, I was on the Bucs all week too, and I'm gonna stick with it. What the hell? +4. You can get +4 now. Actually, You know what? Never mind that. We can get Bet Victor and Betway both have +4.5, -115. Give me that. +4. They lose by 4. It's a winner. So I'll take that. I mean, I'm gonna stick with it. I mean, Tampa Bay, look, it was ugly for them against Philadelphia, but that's one of the better teams in the NFC. I'm going to dare Derek Carr, even with the injuries on defense for Tampa, to lay points more than a field goal. I mean, I'm still not enamored. Like, obviously, Kamara back changes a lot for the better for New Orleans offense, but still, I don't love what I'm seeing out of Derek Carr so far for the New Orleans Saints. So +4. I'm also going to put the over on the card, Jimmy, with all these injuries for Tampa. The way I see it, if New Orleans covers, the game's going over the total, because it's going to be because those Tampa defensive injuries come into play. So over 39.5 -125 ProLine Plus. We'll use that.
Over 39.5. Abdullah, the reason they're a dog is because Deshaun Watson will not be playing today. So we've had a big move there. Over 39.5. What was the juice?
Minus 125.
Minus 125 over 39.5. All right, we got 2 spots left, and we got to be very quickly. So we got to move quickly with the Commanders, Eagles. Beautiful weather. Quez Watkins dealing with a hamstring injury. Safety Sidney Brown as well, and Justin Evans with a neck injury. The Commanders are a healthy group. Let's go to the line history here. This total is sitting at 43 right now. 43. This opened up at 46. A 3-point move towards the under. From a spread situation here, we have a 10 on the board, our first 10, and it's at Pinnacle. My goodness. When this first moved to 10, I didn't realize this has been at 10 since last night, but it was minus 126. Now this 10 is minus 115. Jesus, a 10 on the board here for Washington. And we go to the cash flow for this one, and we have 20% of the tickets and 57% of the cash on Washington, and 32% of the tickets, 68% cash on the under. Take it away, Bobano.
Washington beat them in Philly last year. Washington's off an embarrassment to Buffalo. Everyone remembers it. I don't see enough in Philly right now to say, yeah, they're really trustworthy laying 10 now in a divisional game. Divisional underdog, by the way, which has been a good trend. And Ron Rivera is a dog of 7 or more, is like 65% ATS in his career. Just too many points here. And you know you're going to get Washington's best effort after that game last week. Just hope Powell can, obviously protects the football. If he throws 4 more interceptions, it's going to be a whitewash here. But you got to think he reins it in as far as the decision-making is concerned following that. Just too many points here as far as I'm concerned. So I'm taking Washington here, plus 10, minus 115.
You got it. Let's move
on. I
on.
don't trust Hurts in the offense. I saw it. We saw it Monday night against Tampa. There's just not enough efficiency in the red zone. You got to have it if you're going to lay these kind of points.
I'm shocked that there's a 10 on the board. Shocked. Let's move on to your final spot on the board. Raiders, Chargers. What a mess the Raiders are. Jimmy G not in the lineup. Either is cornerback Nate Hobbs, linebacker Curtis Bolton, but now Max Crosby's dealing with a knee injury. He has been having to do everything for this front group to create a pass rush. And man, could Crosby not be out there today? And we don't know about Eckler. I mean, he's listed as doubtful right now. Joey Bosa with a toe and hamstring injury. There's Corey Linsley is the big issue, a heart-related medical issue. Huge blow to this group here. 79% of the tickets, 60% of the cash on the Chargers, 53% of tickets, 51% of cash on the over. This over that we're speaking about here for these Chargers is sitting at 48. This opened up at 51. We have a 3-point drop there. And from a side perspective here with the Chargers, we are sitting at a 7. We have a 7 on the board at Bovada, Pinnacle. We've moved to 7. Wow. This opened up at 6, but it moved quickly to 5. Take it away. Sitting at 7 right now. Take it away, Bobana. Your last spot on the board.
Yeah, side and total. Look, ugly as it is, we're on the Raiders here. Plus the points with the rookie quarterback, Aiden O'Connell. This is another guy that played extremely well in the preseason. He's got a good enough arm. He's accurate with the football. Again, and this is not the 85 Bears defense that he's going up against here. I mean, this is not a great Chargers defense. We've seen it week in and week out. Plus 7, by the way, minus 112 at Pinnacle. We're going to trust the Chargers at home where we know they have no home field advantage to lay a touchdown with that defense. They have 1 win this year by 4 points by the skin of their teeth against a very bad Minnesota team. You better believe I'm not trusting them laying 6.5, 7 here in this game. I think O'Connell can play effectively, especially against this kind of defense, which hasn't stopped anybody this year. So plus 7 in the Raiders, and I also like the over. That's going to be an official play as well. Over 48, or actually 47.5, Jimmy, at Bet99. We'll use that. Over 47.5, minus 110. I think O'Connell can do enough. To me, this is like Jimmy G, an okay quarterback going to a unknown, just like Watson to DTR. It's not a huge downgrade, in my opinion, this change from Jimmy G to Aiden O'Connell. And then on the flip side, you mentioned the Raiders, the defense, the injuries, maybe no Crosby. It definitely feels like a day Herbert and the offense should light it up as well. So, but again, this defense, I can't trust laying a full touchdown. Sorry, can't do it. And this, not a chance. So Raiders plus 7, over 47.5.
I love it. He's also on the Commanders plus 10. Bobano's on the Bucks plus 4.5 and the over 39.5. He is on the Browns +2 at -110. The over 46.5 in Denver, Chicago. The over 46 in Minnesota, Carolina, and the over 52.5 in Miami, Buffalo. Thank you so much for making time for us, Bobano. Go out there and have a monster Sunday. Please follow Bobano at Bobano on Twitter. And of course, hitting the books every Monday alongside Connor Mack, our big college football show. Thank you so much, Bobano, my man.
I had a monster college football day, so watch yesterday. So hopefully it's the same today in the NFL. And it's more reason why you should be watching Hitting the Books, where we give you these early week opinions. Mondays, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, right here on Pub Sports Radio. Jimmy, good luck. Everyone in the back, Birdie, LJ, good luck. Everyone in the chat, good luck. Cash some tickets. Let's go.
Let's go. There he is, Bobano. We go from Hamilton up to Kingston, Ontario for our next guest, sitting at 3-3, down 0.54 units after week 2. He was with us, ready to get into the black right here on week 4. Please welcome Birdie to the show. Birdie, how are you, my friend?
I'm well, Jimmy. How are you?
I'm pumped up. It's been a great Saturday of football. I'm really, really excited about everything that's happening here, and I'm excited to hear your action. So let's get right to work. We got to be really fast here. We've a lot of these games, we've talked about the injuries and the line movement. I'm not going to need to hammer them again, and this is one of them. You start with 2 bets here. You have a money line parlay. We'll talk about the second half of this money line parlay, and you're also on a total in Rams Colts. Take it away.
Yeah, so I'm on the Colts money line here. This is just a bad situational spot for the Rams. This is their third travel east. They chose to go home. They played Monday night, and now they're coming back to Indianapolis in a 1 o'clock time slot. It's just a bad scheduling spot for them. And, I mean, they face Joe Burrow on one leg, who stays in the pocket. They face Geno Smith, who stays in the pocket. They face, who was the third guy they faced? Purdy stays in the pocket. This Richardson kid is not staying in the pocket today. He's going to be all over. I actually think the Colts can win this game by margin. It's just a really bad spot for the Rams. And this left tackle injury is a little bit concerning. Even if he plays, he's playing last minute. And the drop between him and his replacement is very significant. We saw that last week. So Colts money line for me.
Colts money line.
And I'm
you're
also on the under here, 45.5. I think points are going to be tough to get in this game. When you have a healthy Shaq Leonard and a DeForest Buckner, even though he's questionable, my expectation is he plays. This Colts defense is very underrated, and I think we stay under this 45.5 today.
I like it. I'm with you on the Colts. I like hearing that you are too. My apologies. This isn't a tied money line parlay. This is just the Colts and the under. Let's move on to the next spot, because this will be a spot where you are tying 2 bets together. Let's start with the Broncos Bears. We already talked about the massive injury issues for both defenses. What is your plan? And we'll talk about what you're tying it with after. But what's your plan here?
Okay, it's just the Broncos money line play. I think the Bears are in trouble. Broncos have the better coach here. They have the better quarterback here. They have the better running game here. I'm just going to take this is a tough week. The spreads I didn't like at all, but I think there's value in the money line if you can get creative. Then this is one of them.
And you are tying it with a total in Bengals Titans. We haven't talked about this spot, but all of a sudden the Titans are missing some key pieces. Skronsky on the offense as offensive tackle is out. Cornerbacks Elijah Molden is out. Linebacker Luke Gifford is out. And then wide receiver Treylon Burks is out. Also, you have Autry and Tart, both your key defensive tackles, hurting, groin and knee respectively, and questionable. Let's go over to the line history, because we haven't spoken about this Bengals Titans spot. Move over here for this one. With the side, we're now sitting with the Bengals -2.5. This spent a lot of time at 2, but sitting at 2. And I actually spent time at 3 yesterday. Got up to 3 yesterday, but it's a 2.5, slightly juiced. We get over to the total for the Bengals Titans spot. It's sitting at 41.5. And from a cash flow standpoint for this one, we have, sorry, take me a second to get up here. We have 60% of the tickets, but 47% of the cash on the Bengals, 62% of the tickets, and 77% of cash on the under. Take it away for us here, Birdie. Bengals, Titans, your addition to a parlay with the Broncos money line.
Yeah, so I'll get into the pick here. So the reality of it is Burrow's still not healthy. This is a great opportunity for them to play that 10 to 15-yard pass game. You give Vrabel that opportunity, and you can't push the ball down the field right now. The Bengals can't. I think this is a defensive game. What I did for the parlay is I actually took the total, which you shouldn't do probably, but I took it up to 45.5 and played the under with the Broncos money line. I just think points are going to be tough in this game. Both teams are going to struggle to score, I think.
And you got plus 138 on that Broncos money line, Bengals Titans under 45.5. Next up for you is another money line parlay here. And we start with the Pittsburgh Steelers at Houston Texans. Laramie Tunsil is out. And for Pittsburgh, with James Daniels gone out with a groin injury on the offensive line, Nate Herbig has to replace him. Take it away, Birdie, Steelers, Texans.
Well, that Herbig is going to be a massive upgrade. This kid's special. Can't wait to watch him. The bottom line here, Houston's second-string offensive line is going to see what playing against an elite front seven in the National Football League looks like today. So I took the Pittsburgh money line here.
And you're tying it with Raiders-Chargers game at SoFi Stadium. Talk to us about who you're tying the Pittsburgh money line.
I'm going to tie it with just the Chargers money line. Don't like the points here. Actually think Aiden O'Connell probably is a great addition here. Probably would take the points on the Raiders but I'm not going to. But I might personally here. I like O'Connell personally, but I'm just going to tie it with the Chargers money line, Pittsburgh money line.
You got it. Next up for you, Ravens, Browns, Brown Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. We just heard Bobano's very interesting breakdown why he is sticking with the Browns at +2. What's your play here?
Yeah, I mean, how many games has the Ravens won in the National Football League with Lamar Jacksons and Andrews as a passing game? But their passing game is not a problem for me. And now you have Flowers there as well. So, I mean, if you look back the last 3 years, the passing game is still far superior than it's ever been in Baltimore. The situational spots here for Baltimore are just absurd. Awful loss. Playing a division game, awful loss. They're absurd. I'm just going to take. I mean, it sucks with these Sunday shows because I had a much better number on the money line yesterday, but I'll still take the Ravens money line today. And actually, what I'll do is I'll tie it with the Vikings money line now, just so we get a better number.
Okay, so
we don't have to talk about the Vikings game. I just think the Vikings are going to win.
Okay, I'm going to pull up the what that parlay would be with Ravens money line and Vikings money line. I'll put that together at Pinnacle. The Ravens money line's at -128. Next up is Patriots Cowboys. This is an interesting one here. The big thing for the Patriots is Jonathan Jones, their cornerback, expected to be back.
Is he? I thought he was out. They ruled him out.
We need to know that because I know that he was questionable, but I thought that he was, because they've been out no Jack Jones, no Marcus Jones on IR, so I thought Jonathan Jones was coming back. So we need to find out. And then the Cowboys have an issue on their offensive line. Tyron Smith is out, so you have Peyton Hendershot and Zach Martin and Tyler Biadazi all hurting right now and listed as questionable. Let's go over to the line history here for this one. Cowboys, Patriots. Sorry, I got the money line up here. I was for your last game. Let me just move over to spreads here. For the spread, we're sitting now at a 6, +6, -105. This opened up at 7. When we get to the total for this one, we're sitting at a 43 at a slightly juiced to the over. And when we get to the cash flow for Patriots, move over here, Cowboys, 62% of the tickets, but 40% of the cash is on the Cowboys. So bigger bets coming in on the Patriots, 61% tickets, 83% cash on the under. Birdie, take it away.
Yeah, this is so what I try to do, and it's a hard thing to do, is not overreact week to week. I think a lot of this Patriot money is because of what we saw from Dallas last week. I mean, if there was ever a look-ahead spot for Dallas, it was last week, coming off those two impressive wins where they didn't have to play offense in the second half of either game. So we haven't seen the Dallas offense play a full 60 minutes, really. I'm throwing last week out. They weren't prepared to play. Love that the coach is taking accountability. I love that the DC got in front of the camera and took credibility. I love that Micah Parsons got in front of the camera and took accountability. This Patriots team is probably, I say it every week about a team, but in my opinion, they are very overvalued still based off their head coach. And a lot of people are looking at what happened to this team 10 years ago. This offense is horrible. It is an awful, awful NFL offense, and it has been for 3 years. I mean, they scored 3 more points last week than Zach Wilson did. 3. And now you're going to go travel to the Cowboys off, and then probably the most embarrassing loss they've had in the last 3 years against that defense, who is the best defense in the National Football League. I am happily taking the Cowboys. Very glad the number's down, and I'll continue to take the best number I can. I think the Cowboys win this game, and they probably win by double digits.
Yeah, I think the overreaction with what happened last week for the Cowboys was something I wanted to move on, but I've been hesitant. But I've wanted the Cowboys all week.
You look at the line, right? You look at the line movement. How can you be comfortable taking the Cowboys? Really, because the Sharp world is saying that New England is going to win, but the Sharps always take New England.
You got the Dallas -6, -105. You also have the Cowboys as part of a parlay on the Monday nighter. We got to be real tight here. Who are you parlaying with?
Seattle money line. The Giants are awful. The Giants are just awful. I'm going to believe my eyes here until they prove me different. Just because they came back down 24 points in Arizona and got lucky and won a game in Arizona, down 24 points. I'm happy taking the Seattle money line and tying it with the Cowboy money line here.
Buccaneers Saints next for you. Take it away.
Which game? Bucks. I'm going to just stay off this game now. This is a line movement I'm going to respect. I'm going to stay off this game. It really wasn't a good spot for the Bucks anyway, and had Wilson or Jameson started, I probably would have been more convicted here. But what I will do, I won't even do that. I'll just stay off this game totally.
You close up with Commanders Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field. We just talked about out and who's out and the line movement. So take it away. What's your move?
Yeah, sorry, I sent you a text last night. I'm off this one too.
Oh, you're off this one too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the problem is I want to believe that Powell is going to be bad, good. And I think if you look at what's happened in the market throughout the year, first game, the whole world was on them. They didn't cover. Second game, they sucked. They won. Third game, everyone's on them. They lost. Now this week, no one's on them again, and they suck. This is a great spot for Washington. We got a 10. Let's take it.
All right. He will be moving on the 10, the Washington plus 10 at -115. Locked in. Birdie is also on the Cowboys money line, Seattle money line parlay, Dallas -6. He's on the Ravens money line, Vikings money line parlay. That worked out to +163 at Pinnacle. He's on the Chargers money line, Pittsburgh money line parlay at +144. And he is on Broncos money line, Bengals Titans under 45.5. That's at +138. And he's on the Colts money line and the under 45.5 in that one. Birdie, thank you so much for making time for us and putting in all the hard work and sharing your action. Go out there and get that cash, Birdie. Please follow our guy Birdie at Birdie_bets. Thank you for making time for us, Birdie, my guy.
Thank you, my brother. Hey, Coach. Talk to you.
Let's do it. There is Birdie. We go from Kingston, Ontario, down to Ocala, Florida. And it comes as no surprise to anyone what our next guest has done thus far on our show. On week 1, he went 6-2 on our show, plus 4.72 units. He followed that up with week 2, going 7-3, plus 4.05 units. He's now 13-5, plus 8.77 units, and he was our champion in our first year of NFL Pub Hub. He was top 5 last year, and he's right back in that seat ahead of everybody, and clearly ahead of everybody. 13-5, plus 8.77 units. Please welcome the big Ragu to the show.
What's
Doc,
up,
how are you?
dog? What's happening, chat? What's happening, Jimmy? Let's get some cash today again. Let's get some cash.
Coming off another great college football Saturday, the big Ragu is running hot, and we have him right here on NFL Pub Hub. Dolphins, Bills, Ragu. We've been talking about it, so we just want to hear what you are doing.
Hey, simple. Not simple. Nothing's ever simple. But listen, we all know about the 70 points last week, all the recency bias on that. We know the Bills, Josh Allen's success against the Dolphins. Tua, he's beat Tua up and down the field. It's going to be an emotional day. You know, Hamlin coming back today. Had some questions on the defensive side with the Bills, with Hyde, Poyer, and Johnson. But I think Poyer's the only one that's sitting out right now, as far as I know. So that bodes well for me because I like the under here. I think Buffalo, you know, they put up 37 against the Commanders. Had some, you know, long third down situations come up. I think they were like 15 times. They converted 9 of them. I think they'll be more efficient on the offensive side. Miami yields some yardage on the ground. So, yeah, I think we're not going to burn a ton of clock up, but we'll see some bigger chunk plays for the Bills. Try to control the offense a little bit more, slow Miami, keep them off the field. So, yeah, I like the under here. And, Josh Allen's record's intact here. Give me the fucking Bills, baby.
So you want the Bills as well as the under 53 and
a
half?
Bills and under, side and total under.
Okay, well, I'm going to get you that 2.5. I'm going to line shop and find the best 2.5, but we have an under 53 and a half at minus 110. 53 is almost littered throughout the board, but there is still a 53 and a half at Will Hill. I'm on the first half under 27, so I'm right there riding with you. Correlated. Let's move on, and I will line shop for the best line for the Bills, minus 2.5. Next up for you is the bum fight, Broncos, Bears. We've already discussed the injuries and the market move. Surprising market move, though, of the 3. We're sitting at a 3 right now, and it's at basically a pick 'em at the 3. Take it away for us here, Ragu. Broncos, Bears at Soldier Field.
Yeah, the Broncos shit all over themselves all season long. Bears, both of these teams have the lowest win total the past 2 years out of all the teams in the NFL, but both bottom tier teams here. But like I heard, I think I might have heard Ian said something about, you know, we got a Super Bowl coach, a Super Bowl quarterback, you know, coming into Soldier Field here with the Bears. They just can't get out of their own way. Both of these teams, in effect, I know Judy's out for the Broncos, but that, you know, I know the locker room is lit in Denver for this team. You know, they're tired of hearing about that 70-point loss. And I think receivers wise, you know, talent wise, they're pretty equal actually. But I think I'm going to put my stock in the coach, the locker room, and the quarterback here with this one here. You know, a Bears team that gives up their 31st in the league at pass per attempt, 30 in rush. Give me the Broncos. Even though they're struggling offensively, this is a game they get it right. And I'm not going to go the money line. I'm going to lay the points here. You're sitting at a 3 at plus 100. I'll take that.
You got it locked in. Broncos minus 3 for the big Ragu. Again, 13-5 in 2 shows with us, plus 8.77 units. Next up, Ragu, you head to New Orleans, Caesars Superdome. Its car is going to be under center. The line is moving towards the Saints. We've talked about the injuries and the line movement. Take it away.
All right, we talk about the AFC North, you know, how you can shake up them teams and put them in a bag and get a 3-point game. Well, you get that when you get these two teams post Breeze and Brady era on top of that too. So both teams have had their offensive struggles without a doubt. Both defenses are pretty good. I know Tampa's a little nicked up on the defensive side. I guess they get Kamara back today too, right? And they get Carr. Carr was questionable. He's in now. So my big concern for me on the I'm going to be on the Bucs here, and I know the line market and the market's moving against me here, and I like the total too on the under, whatever you get me there. But you know, they're coming off that poor effort. You know, a lot of drop balls. You know, Baker's been playing pretty decent. One team, you know, they're both 2-1, but New Orleans yet to cover spread. They're 0-2-1, and Tampa's 2-1 against the spread. So I don't like them coming off the Monday spot, but I think it's going to be a close game. I really do. I think, and then I was worried about the hook, but now it's going back to, you know, it's even moved past the hook now. You know, I was happy to get the hook, but now I'm going to stay with my cap here. I'm not going to jump off it. Sometimes you got to say screw the market, and you got to stick with what you cap and run with it. And you're always not happy about getting a worse number, but in our case, it makes you nervous, like you like to say, but we can benefit from that too at the same time. So I think it comes down to a field goal. The only guy I'm concerned about is Olave a little bit, and how sharp is our guy going to be? With that injury, Carr. How sharp is he going to be? And that Kamara's going to help out the cause for the under. I think they lean on him a lot more, and they'll take their shots downfield because I know Tampa's is a little nicked up. How much pressure is Tampa going to get on Carr today? That's going to be the big question, whether we win or lose this game. But give me Tampa plus the points and give me the under.
You got it plus 4.5 right now, minus 110 for the Buccaneers, and the under 41 minus 106. And then we have Monday night action from the Big Ragu. He will be part of our live stream as always, and we love the Monday nights. He cashed a 19-1 just 3 weeks ago. 19-1. Seattle Seahawks, New York. That was at halftime too. He put it in at halftime. 19-1 casher. Seahawks, Giants, MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. We just heard Birdie basically shit all over the New York Giants, and I'm on the Giants. I'm very nervous about it. I'm very nervous about it because of what we just saw the Lions do to the Packers, and we know what Seattle did at Ford Field. But I just like Daboll with extra rest, with everything on the line, and I'm nervous about it, though. Yeah. So let's take a look at the total here very quickly here for the Monday Nighter. It's now at 47.5 at BetChris, 46.5 juice to the over at Pinnacle. And from a side scenario, we have Seattle at minus 1.5. Seattle minus 1.5. Take it away for us here, Doc. Seahawks, Giants.
I get the overlook of what Seattle's been doing. The past couple games, they've put 37 points up. They let the Panthers put 27 up on them, by the way. But yeah, and the Giants' offensive struggles, they're there. They're real. No Barkley, that changes the whole dynamic of this football team. When they lean on him and Dimes as far as the offense, and you figure with them getting Waller, that would kind of alleviate some of that. But with Barkley went down and Waller's kind of been absent, so to speak. So, and I think it's due to the line. They've had some offensive line issues again. And with Jones not being able to have time to make plays, and we see what happened with Dallas. But Dallas is spectacular, no question about that. So, so they've had a kind of a rocky season. But I think if they're going to create a little offense, I think Seattle can yield it here, But the Giants have yet to score a first half touchdown this season. So, and we've been all over these primetime unders. I think the Giants get going, but I don't know if they get going quickly enough. So I like the first half under here. I think even though Seattle yields, Giants still going to try to have to put things a little bit in perspective. I like the fact, like you said, Daboll is going to have, like quasi rest, at Thursday night or coming back and getting a couple of extra days rest to prepare here. So I would lean Giants. I'm going to make some plays, when we get live on Monday night, but pre-Monday night today, first half under.
First half under 23 at minus 110 for Big Ragu. He's on the under 41 and the Bucks plus 4.5 in Bucks Saints. And I have both of those bets. The market's gone against me. I have the 40.5 and the 3, and I'm very uncomfortable with it, but I love hearing that you are on it as well. And then we have, move up here, too many pages of notes. Then we have Ragu on the under 53.5 in Dolphins Bills. I'm on the first half under 27, and we are both on the Bills minus 2.5. He got it at minus 118. And we have Ragu on the Broncos minus 3 at plus 100. What a model of consistency you are as a capper. It inspires all of us. You inspire all of us daily. Thank you so much for making time for us, Doc. Please follow Big Ragu on X at Big Ragu 62, and again 13-5 plus 8.77 units through.
I got to give you a parting shout before I go with a teaser, my man.
I love it. Let's do it.
I got to throw that teaser in. Get on the what I call the AFC shakeout. Take Baltimore plus the points. The 9. There it's at 3, right? That game.
No. It's a huge move now because Deshaun Watson's not in.
Oh, that's right. All right. So what
it's
is it, like 2.5?
it's -2 for Baltimore right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, give me the 8. That's still good. And then the Chefs, they're going to cook in New York. They cover that game by a field goal easily. So they're minus what, 8.5 down to 2.5.
They're an 8 right now.
They're at 8. All right.
So
So
yeah,
2.
-2.
So all right. So look, give me KC and Baltimore in the teaser.
All right, the
Oh, okay.
teaser is Baltimore. It's actually Baltimore +6 because they are. Sorry, what am I talking about? It's actually Baltimore +4 because they are -2 right now. Baltimore +4,
Right.
and that's with no Deshaun Watson. The Chiefs -2. Doc, you're the man. Thank you for making time for us.
Let's go, guys. Have a day.
Let's get that cash. There he is, the big Ragu coming to us from Ocala, Florida. Next, we go from Ocala, Florida, over to Houston, Texas. And our guy, LJ from H-Town, star of the Trill OG play of the day, ready to rock and roll with us. Please welcome LJ. What's up, LJ? How are you, my man?
What's going on, Jimmy? How we doing? Sunday morning football. Ready to get some money with you guys, so let's get into it.
Let's get after it right now. You have Ravens Browns at the top of your list. A big story with Deshaun Watson out in the flip. Didn't concern Bobano. He's on the Browns +2. What's your plan here, LJ? Take it away.
My plan is the first full game under. I got the first half under 19, I believe. Full game under is 38.5. Both defenses, I believe, are going to come out to play. Both defenses haven't given up any touchdowns. Baltimore, they allowed 5 field goals last week from Matt Gay, and 4 of those field goals was 50-plus yards. So the Bengals didn't score a touchdown in the first half. The Texans didn't score a touchdown full game. As far as Cleveland, they don't give up touchdowns as well. They only given up 1 in the first half versus the Steelers. And the Bengals and Titans game, they didn't score a touchdown. So I believe this game is a dead under. I don't like Baltimore as a favorite now. I wanted to take them as a dog, considering the record Lamar Jackson has as a dog. But now that they're a favorite, I just feel more confident as the under that both defenses are going to come to play, because both defenses are top 10 in rush defense and pass defense. And we do know Cleveland gives up the less yards in the league. So dead under for me, first half and full game.
Do you want the 19.5 at -119 or just the 19 with?
No, let's do that with 19.5. Let's do
19.5 -119 and under 38.5 at -110. Under -110. I love it. I moved on this on Tuesday when it was at 41. I love it. And I'm very excited to watch this football game. I love low-scoring football. Let's move on to your next spot on the board. Your Houston Texans in Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. Unfortunately, Laramie Tunsil will be out. And interesting spot, a game. It's going to be really, really, really fun to watch. Take it away, Steelers, Texans.
Yeah, I'm on another under. Full game, 41.5. Pittsburgh's offense is ferocious. They lead the NFL in 3-and-outs. They lead the NFL in punts, averaging 6 punts a game. And as far as the Texans, I don't believe we can run the ball on the Steelers defense. I think that front defensive line is ferocious. And, they lead the NFL in sacks. TJ Watt has 6 of those sacks. So I believe they're going to put a lot of pressure on CJ Stroud today. Now, the Texans are trusting CJ to make plays. He's averaging 40 pass attempts, top 10 in the league, over 300 passing yards. So he can definitely keep this offense moving, considering the Texans are first in third down conversions, which I cannot believe still that they are number 1 in third down conversions. But as far as the game, I'm on the under 41.5, and I'm on a prop. I'm on CJ Stroud over 32.5 pass attempts, -117, because the Steelers have allowed 40-plus pass attempts in the last 2 games, averaging 37.5 of pass attempts in all 3 games to the quarterback. So I believe Stroud will get the pass attempts. Now, for him to get the yards and the score, that's a different story. They still have to prove to me that they can win at home. They're 0-7-1 in the last 8 games as a home dog. Texans play better on the road recently, so they have to prove to me that they can win this game at home versus a Steelers offense that is lackluster. But as far as me making my bet, under 41.5 is my play.
Under 41.5 available. So is if you want an under 42. There's an under 42 here. It looks like it's gone now. God, just switched. But it was available under 42 at -120 if you want it.
No, we stick to 41 now.
Okay, under 41 at minus. Oh, sorry. Shoot, I was looking at the. My bad. No, it's right there, widely available right now if you want.
Okay.
Bet Chris, under 42 minus 120.
Let's do it.
Okay, under 42 minus. And CJ Stroud over 32.5 pass attempts. Rocco Rogers also on that look. He's loving it that you guys are correlated. What's the juice for?
Minus 117 is what I got.
Minus 117. All right, let's roll on. Next up, we head to SoFi Stadium. Raiders, Chargers. Take it away, LJ.
Yes, sir. I am on the Chargers. First half, minus 3.5. Since Herbert has been a starter, they've been top 5 in first half points each year. And the Raiders, they don't score in the first half. They're only averaging 9 points. Garoppolo is out, so I don't believe the backup will be able to sustain any offense versus the Chargers. I do believe the Chargers will win the game, but I just want to trust the first half, which they, do best. And I'm on Herbert, over 281.5 passing yards. I'm going to parlay that with over 1.5 touchdown passes, and that puts me at a plus 133 because Herbert is averaging 309 passing yards in his career versus the Raiders, and he still has Keenan Allen, who's averaging 10 receptions, 134 yards, and I believe that Keenan Allen will get a touchdown, and he could find another target to get his touchdown. So Herbert should have a good day. I would definitely put Herbert as a fantasy player today as well because he's top 5 in all the passing categories in the NFL. So Herbert definitely is a bet on today. But as far as the game, first half, minus 3.5.
Minus 3.5 to minus 115. Herbert over, was it 1.5 touchdowns and 282.5 yards?
Yes, passing yards. Yep.
And that worked out to what? Plus
133.
Plus 133. Locked in, LJ. Next up for you, we head to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. You are the only capper who is using this game on today's show. 9 cappers, and you're the only one rocking with it. The Cardinals have some issues. Josh Woods, linebacker, is out. Defensive lineman Jonathan Ledbetter out as well. And then Chris Barnes dealing with a finger injury. Marquise Brown, thumb injury. They're both questionable. So is their lineman Paris Johnson with an ankle injury. So that's there. And then Jawan Jennings is doubtful for the Niners. And then Dre Greenlaw dealing with an ankle injury. Elijah Mitchell and Deebo Samuel showed up on the injury report late in the week. They're listed as questionable right now. Let's get into the line history for this spot. This total is sitting at 44 over at Pinnacle. Some books have it at 43.5, but this total opened at 42. So we have a 2-point move towards the over. And from a spread scenario, this is sitting at 7.5 at minus 115. Oh, that's first half, of course. What am I talking about? It's 14. So the first half is at 7.5. The full game is sitting at minus 14 at minus 103 for the Niners. And when we get to the cash flow for the Niners spot here, sorry, give me a second. We have 56% of the tickets, 75% of the cash on the Niners, 77% of the tickets, 86% of the cash on the over. Take it away, LJ.
Yeah, man. Divisional game. Arizona coming off that, upset win versus Dallas, but I believe they're coming into Levi. They're coming against a powerhouse with the 49ers. I'm on the 49ers, but I'm not on the spread. They are 13-0 with McCaffrey, as we know. 30-plus points in all 3 games. And I'm going to jump on that over team total for the 49ers, 27.5, minus 140. I know it's juice, but I believe this will cash. You can parlay it with something else if you want to get some better juice, but I'm going to take the minus 140 because they've scored 30 points in all 3 of their games. And the last 2 games that they played the Cardinals, they put up 38 points. So I don't see them having any trouble putting up those points. And I'm also on a couple of props today that I'm correlating with the 49ers. They're top 10 in points scored and points allowed. Purdy's top 5 in QBR. So I don't see them having any trouble with a defensive foe of Arizona that offense cannot put up points. Now, they put up points in the first half, but the second half, they're only averaging 6 points, which is worse than the NFL. So the 49ers can definitely take care of business in the second half if Arizona keeps it close in the first half. But my props in this game, first, we have Greg Kittle's over 41.5 receiving yards. I got it at minus 118 because he's averaging 71 yards versus Arizona in his last 7 games. And Arizona has allowed 55 receiving yards to the tight end position in their last 3 games. And this is something that they have been trouble with past season as well. This goes back to last season. Even when Bruce Arians was their coach, they have trouble defending that tight end position. So I think Kittle's will have a good day today. He will get that 41.5 receiving yards. I wouldn't even mind his anytime touchdown, but I'm not going to take that. I'll just leave that up to y'all that want to, jump on the touchdown as well. But I am on the receiving yards over 41.5. I'm sorry, minus 118. Now, my best prop bet of the day. We are going to continue to keep cashing this prop that has cashed all 3 games with the 49ers. We're going to take Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown. He's 7-1 in his last 8 games to that touchdown. And we're going to take the Moody field goal kicker for the 49ers over 1.5 field goals because he's had 2 field goals in all 3 games. So you parlay those together, you get a plus 114 parlay. And that is my best parlay prop of the day right there.
I love it. McCaffrey anytime touchdown, Moody over 1.5 field goals at plus 114, Kittles over 41.5 receiving yards at minus 118, and the 49ers team total over 27.5 at minus 140. Chargers first half minus 3.5, minus 115. Herbert over 1.5 touchdowns and over 282.5 passing yards. That parlay together, same game, is at plus 133. He's on the under 42 in Pittsburgh, Houston. CJ Stroud over 32.5 pass attempts. Then LJ's on the first half under 19.5 and the full game under 38.5 in Ravens Browns. Thank you so much for making time for us, LJ, my man. Follow LJ on X at LJ Sports Media, and basketball season right around the corner, so you'll be seeing a lot of LJ on this channel. LJ, thank you so much for making time for us on this Sunday. Go out there, get that cash, my guy.
Let's get it, Jimmy. Let's get this money.
There he is, LJ in the house. We go from Houston, Texas, and we head south, far south, all the way to Costa Rica, Escazú, Costa Rica. Please welcome our guy. He's put a lot of money in our pockets over the last, year, 9 months? 9 months. And now he's making his season debut here on NFL Pub Hub. Please welcome my guy, Flash, to the show. Flash, how are you?
Confused, decisive, undecisive, decisive, undecisive. Honestly, on Tuesday, I was like a dog with 2 dicks. Now, I don't know if I'm Arthur or Martha. Though these injury reports pop up on Fridays, overreaction in the market. I get +2 on one, now they're -2. It's like, what is going on? But again, I've got 10 tickets. They might as well all be Chinese, and I'll just see if I get paid at the end of the day. Where do you want me to start? I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean,
Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. We know Deshaun Watson won't be in the lineup. What is your plan?
Well, I've got the Browns +6. Thinking again, I was clever when it dropped from 2.5 down to pick'em in the first leg of my teaser. And then I went with the Ravens when it moved, because obviously the Ravens then went +2. I got the Ravens at +8 in the first leg of a teaser. But I thought number 1D against an O-line of the Ravens, who are going to be absolutely swarmed. And then Chokey Jackson will be running around for his life. And after what I saw last week from the Ravens, I want to go with the number 1D. So I penciled in, and I sent you these obviously when I was the dog with 2 dicks, under 20.5 first half. That's now moved to 19.5, and I still think that's value because I just don't see points. I really don't see points here, and I think that my teaser's are live because I think it's a field goal game. I really do.
Under 19.5 is still available at -119 right now. Flash is on the board, and he has.
Whoa. 119 for 19.5. I've already got it at under 20.5. I know, but I'm not interested in that hook. Why don't we just go under 19 then?
Let's do it. We'll give you that under 19. We can give you that here. Now, some books have this 19.5. It's still juiced, but Pinnacle doesn't. So let me just go right to their site here and get you this under. First half under in Browns Ravens under 19 is Jesus. Yeah, there's no difference. The 19.5 is -119. The 19 is -116.
See what I mean? They're robbing Bass. Honestly, they don't give us nothing.
Yeah.
They've overreacted on nearly every single market in every single game, and we'll get to them as we go along because I've been on the case from like late last Sunday, thinking, oh, right, here we go, week 4, we can really get our teeth into it. I end up putting my teeth in soup. It's like unbelievable.
Let's go. Do your next spot on the board. Saturated still having a tough time trying not to think about the two-dicked dog. Two-dicked dog. Cincinnati Bengals, Tennessee Titans in Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. I was going to bet the Titans. I felt like that was the side. I feel like it's an overreaction from what happened last week. It's just a buy low opportunity. I really do. But
no, I'm with the Bengals now, and I'm going to stay with the Bengals, especially when they get on this type of matchup. It's almost like there was a moment early on in the third quarter last week when the Bengals then decided, okay, let's keep this game simple. Let's play with what we've got. And then I fancy that the O-line of the Titans, or the D-line of the Titans, is not going to get to Joe Burrow, so he's going to have even more time. So for me, it's straightforward. This is the second leg of my parlay of 3, because obviously I had it with the Lions as well Thursday night. I see that money line Bengals all day. Happy to take -2. Happy to make -2.5. I just see the Bengals winning this game. I've even got them in a money line parlay with the Broncos and the Vikings. So I've got a couple of money line parlays with the Bengals. Bengals are right in the middle of everything for me. They win today, then I've got all sort of hedge spots later.
so do you want the 2.5 at -102?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm happy to go -3.
The reason why I ended up getting off was something that Dennis Garcia said. He said, when there's 3 minutes left in the game and it's tied, who would you rather have? Tannehill or Burrow? And I was like, ooh.
Yeah, but the Bengals D's turned up as well, by the way.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then you've got like a simplicity. It's like simplicity is genius, we used to say. And now you're going to get the Titans trying to put pressure on Burrow when I just don't see it happening.
I get it, man. Bengals -2.5, -102. I'm not in on this game at all. But then we move to the Sunday Nighter. Our Sunday night live stream will be right here. And we have our guy, Flash. He's going to give us now a look on the Sunday Nighter and the Monday Nighter. So both of our live streams tonight and tomorrow, we can talk about Flash's action. So take it away. MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Chiefs, Jets. Take it away.
Well, obviously, it's the Chiefs all day long because you don't want any money on the Jets. I mean, the Jets D, yeah, okay, but I mean, how long are you going to be actually on the field? And at the end of the day, against the Chiefs with so many options, so many weapons, they're gonna be leaned on too much. Now, this is one of their markets that's like pretended to give us something, and when you take off the covers, it's given us nothing because the Chiefs were -10, -5.5 first half, right? They're now -8 full game in some places, but they're -6 first half. What is going on there? I mean, it's not correlated. It's not gone down. It's like saying, oh, yeah, you can have the Chiefs at -8 full game, but first half, you've got to give up more points. I'm still going with the Chiefs. Chiefs first half for me. I'm thinking, what's this going to be? 10-3 worst case scenario. So 14-6, and there could be a couple of interceptions here early on, fumbles. Listen, this is the real deal against a relegated side for me. And the Jets again, defense. That's their only positive in the whole organization. And now you've got the players looking around and pointing fingers. Oh, it's not a happy camp. And you've got the Super Bowl champs rolling in. Oh, come on now. Kansas City, first half, 5, 5.5, 6, even go up to 6.5 if you want.
I see. Jose, can you see if that's not a stale line? It says the Bovada is still hanging a 4.5 at -110. Can you confirm if that's?
Well, I've got here on 2 lines. I've got -8 full game.
Yeah.
-6 first half.
That's well. I mean, we can.
Rude. That's what that is. That's rude.
Okay, well, we'll see if that.
It's hard enough as it is without taking and like not giving us anything.
Yeah, it is. That's confirmed by Jose. So Bavard.
Oh yeah, we'll take 4.5. And in fact, we'll put 2 units on that, Jimmy. That's the banker.
-4.5.
And by the way, I've got the Chiefs in 4. Then my last leg in 4 teasers from -2 to -3. Full game.
You got it locked in. I'm on the under 42.5 for my pregame action on.
What you got that like 38-3?
That'll work.
Do you know what I mean? And what about the Jets team total? Did they hang it at 16.5 or did they give us a 17?
Let's move over to the Jets team total here right now. It is, here we go. The Jets team total is 16.5, juice to the under.
If they went to 17, I'd go under all day. In fact, 16.5 seems a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I get that. Saturated's on that the Jets team total under 16.5.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
You got it. Chiefs first half -4.5, -110. Then we have the Monday nighter, Seahawks, Giants. We've already heard Birdie give out the Seahawks. I am on the Giants. And
Already?
Yes, and I'm nervous about it, obviously. We heard that Doc, it was close to moving on the Giants, and he did not. He's on the first half under. What is Flash doing for the Monday nighter?
Oh, Seahawks all the way. And again, I thought I was clever. I got them at Pick'em -110. And I've got them in the last leg of 3 different money line parlays. For me, the Giants can't stop anybody. They want to go into shootouts. And yet I've got a Seahawks side who are so together. They're so team. I mean, what do you want to do? Special teams, defense, offense. And the Giants, they want to give everyone a lead. You are not coming back against the Seahawks, giving them a lead, and I've got them as just a straight pick 'em, not even giving up points. There's question marks over the running game now of the Giants. So what they're going to do, they're going to have like just a couple of options, which obviously the Seahawks will be able to pick up. And the Giants have had a decent schedule if you've got like home field, but they've not stopped anybody. They got off to a bad start. They've got away with murder with a comeback. They're not going to do that against the Seahawks, who, for me, they're going to be a dangerous team, this Seahawks. And I think we might see these. They might get beat in the first round of the wild card, but I think the Seahawks go deep into the season.
Do you want the Seahawks money line at -118 or -1.5 at -104?
-104, yeah, you know me. Jesus, I'm always going to have 2 dicks rather than one, aren't I?
Of course, yeah. You've made that very clear on today's show. You're always going to have 2 dicks. Seahawks -1.5 at -104 for Flash. Chiefs first half -4.5 at -110. Bengals -2.5 at -102. And the first half under. And did we decide to go with that 19.5 at -119 when it's only 3 cents cheaper for the minus?
Yes.
Okay. Flash, what a treat it is to have you on the show. Thank you so much for making it time for us.
I've got you just obviously I have to come because I'm coming into your house. It's an old custom to bring a gift. So I've got a 2-team parlay for this week's Champions League for you. Just straight money line, Arsenal and Atletico Madrid, and it pays +170.
Plus, you are a good man. Arsenal and Atletico Madrid at +170. Saturated wondering if there's a lot of 2-dick dogs in Costa Rica.
I don't know. I don't go messing about with dogs. I mean, that's a different sport completely. You get arrested. In England, you get arrested for that type of behavior. Start messing about with hounds, and especially when they've got teeth, they bite.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Oh, way to go. He's gone. He disappeared. Please follow Flash. Please follow Flash. He's right there. Jose, why do you pull him so fast? I think the 2-dick dog got to Jose. I don't know.
Yeah, because Jose thought I was going to out him. Jose didn't want any more. He didn't want me to out him, did he? He didn't want me to show the pictures that Jose sends. Now I'll go. I'll leave that fault in everyone's mind.
What a guy. Flash in the house. Please follow Flash on Twitter at Flash_37. What a great friend, man. I love him. I love Flash. All right, we move on. We go from Costa Rica and we head up to Arizona. We have the star of the Die Hard MMA podcast. It's a break for the UFC break week. So we got him right here, and he was with us in week 2. He went 3-1 plus 2 units, and he's ready to rock right now. Please welcome Clint McLean to the show. Clint, how are you, my friend?
I think I'm scarred for life, Jimmy. How am I supposed to follow that up?
I don't know. A 3-dick dog, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't know where to find one.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's get to work. Rams, Colts. We've been talking about this game a lot, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts. So take it away, my guy Clint. The floor is yours. Rams, Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, so this game all comes down to Anthony Richardson for me, Jimmy. This kid is an absolute beast. He's a monster with his legs. He can hit people from the pocket. And frankly, this Rams team has been way overperforming what everybody expected from them. They're a young group, and I think we're going to see some regression as far as that defense goes. I think they're going to make some mistakes. This leads me to an over, Jimmy. I think the Colts are going to get theirs. I think the Rams are going to be able to counterpunch back. They've got their wide receivers, Tutu and Puka, going crazy out there. I do think we're going to get over this 45. Now, unfortunately, I did play it at 45.5. That's fine. I will still go right back to it. I'm not worried about the hook. I think we get an over here. And as long as Anthony Richardson is in that game, Jimmy, I am playing the touchdown prop. I know he's coming off a concussion. I know that they're probably going to have to try to avoid running him into people like they used to, but I think he's built like Lamar. This kid only knows one way to play. If they get down in the red zone and he doesn't have a target open, he's going to smell blood and go for that end zone. So I still think we end up getting there. So I've got the over 45 as well as Anthony Richardson anytime touchdown.
And we can get you the 44 because the 44 is just minus 110 right now. The 44.5 is minus 102. So we'll get you the over 44 at minus 110. Over 44. And Anthony Richardson anytime touchdown at even money. We move on to a bum fight. Broncos, Bears, Soldier Field, Chicago, Illinois. And you got a player prop here for us, Clint. Take it away.
I do, Jimmy. As much as I hate the Chicago Bears being a Vikings fan, I do think they're going to really try to unload here today. The Denver Broncos have had a hard time stuffing the rush, and because of that, we are going to see them unleash Roschon Johnson. That's right. It's time. He's by far the best back in this backfield for the Chicago Bears. And I think they're going to be running up and down this field here on the Denver Broncos. The kid's got explosive playmaking ability. And if he breaks one, he could get this thing for me in one single play, Jimmy. I got Roschon Johnson over 31.5 rush yards. I think it's finally his time to shine. I've also got him for anytime touchdown, plus 225. I think the Roschon Johnson show starts today. This is another one where, like you said, it's a bum fight. We could get a sneaky over here. I think we're going to get a lot of up and down the field, back and forth. So because of that, I think we get there at least with those rush yards and hopefully that touchdown.
You got it. Roschon Johnson, anytime touchdown, plus 225, over 31.5 yards at minus 110. Spenny Penny Bombs, loving your plan here. Loving it. Let's move on to your next spot on the board. We head to Cleveland for Ravens, Browns. And a lot of talk about this game with Deshaun Watson not in the lineup. Cheshire Cat loving that action as well. Take it away, Clint. Ravens, Browns.
Yeah, so we go from one bum fight to a high-level bum fight, Jimmy. This is one where it's not a bum fight by the way these teams are the stature of these teams, but these injuries, they've got these guys messed up. Lamar Jackson has nobody to throw the dang ball to. It's Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers. That's it. He's got 2 targets. This is one of the best defenses in the league. I think they're going to have a real tough time moving the ball against the Cleveland Browns. And now the Browns are down their starting QB. Now, maybe we see a rookie QB flashing. Maybe he's absolutely incredible out there. But I've got a hard time believing that. Even with some of the injuries to the defense of the Baltimore Ravens, I think the Browns are also going to have a tough time moving the ball. So what does that mean? That means we're kicking a whole lot, Jimmy. And you're going to give me the best leg in the NFL. Justin Tucker over 1.5 field goals at even money on DraftKings. I feel like that is an absolute steal. I think Lamar is going to be running into as far deep into the red zone as he can get before he gets stuffed. And then they're going to have to rely on Justin Tucker's leg to put points up on the board. And, Jimmy, I don't know why. For some reason, my balls shriveled up inside me, and I wasn't going to put this play out on my official card, but I might as well, because I'm currently, as you know, the holder of the longest odds here for Pub Sports Radio's football season so far. And I'm not happy with 30-1, Jimmy. That's not enough for me. I've got to find a way to beat my own record so nobody can catch me. And what we're going to actually do today is sprinkle the no touchdown in Ravens and Browns. That is 50-1, my friends. Not a full unit. Don't lose your minds. Just a little taste, just a little sprinkle. But I don't think anybody finds the end zone today, Jimmy. I could see a 9-6 final score here, Ravens and Browns.
No touchdown at 50-1. That would be, you would hold the live record and the NFL Pub Hub record. You would be a 3-dick dog is what you would be if you could do that. 50-1 for no touchdown in the Browns Ravens here. Let's move over to the Justin Tucker over 1.5 field goals at even money. Rashawn Johnson over 31.5 rush yards. Rashawn Johnson anytime touchdown at plus 225. Anthony Richardson anytime touchdown at even money. And the over 44 in Rams Colts. That's at minus 110. Clint, we're back with your diehard MMA. I mean, you still dropped a great podcast this week, but we have action this next week. Tell us a little bit about who your guest is on Monday.
Absolutely. An old friend of the show, my guy, John Stargarian from the Club and Sub podcast is going to be jumping on. I think it's been almost a full calendar year since we've had my guy on the show. So you definitely won't want to miss this one. He's full of hot takes, definitely thinks about fights a little differently than the majority of the market. So it's going to be a fun episode. And we got a nice run here of the MMA action coming, Jimmy. So thank you very much, my friend. That'll be tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Pub Sports Radio.
I love it. Thank you for making time for us, Clint, my guy. Here he is, star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, in business with us off a 3-1 week 2, up 2 units. And please follow him on Twitter at Die Hard MMA Pod. Thank you for making time for us, my friend.
Anytime, Jimmy. Always happy to be here. Hopefully, I can be competitive this year in the Pub Hub NFL, and it's Viking season, baby. I don't like that but we're getting the win today.
I love it. Oh, speaking of which, quickly jump back on, Clint. What did you think? What do you think of taking them first half? I've been humming and hawing, and I'm kind of leaning towards maybe just letting it go. What's your thought of the first half for the Vikes?
I don't mind that. I do feel like they're going to start strong today. I feel like the Vikings are probably the best 0-3 team in the NFL right now. They absolutely should be at minimum 2-1 based on some of their performances. And the Panthers, I hate to say it, their quarterback sucks. And, you know, we dropped their number 1 wide receiver. So I don't think this is going to be a game that the Vikings should lose. However, until they prove to me that they can cover a point spread, they're my boys, Jimmy. I love this team, but I can't trust them for anything higher than a 3-point victory. So I do think they come out angry. They probably win the first half, and I pray to God they hang on for the full game win. I wouldn't mind first half money line.
I like it. Thank you for everything, Clint, my guy. Have a giant Sunday, my friend, and let's see no touchdowns in that.
Good luck, everybody. No touchdown. Let's go.
There he is, Clint McLean. All right, we are waiting for Wham Bam to show up. Walter Trotter, our next guest, is not here, but we will have our guy Dave Rogers jumping on here shortly. And I did send a message to Sharpie if you wanted to jump on. So let's take a second then to review all action that's been given out on our show today while we're waiting for our next guest. Low bag action for me. Bills minus 2.5. Miami, Buffalo, first half under 27. Baltimore, Cleveland under 41. These were all bets I made Tuesday. I have not added anything. Cincinnati, Tennessee under 41.5. Colts -1, Tampa Bay +3, and the under 40.5, which I'm very upset about. Minnesota, Carolina over 45.5. Chiefs, Jets under 42.5, and the Giants -1. I still have the leans towards the Vikings and the Steelers, Texans under, and that was a spot that we did hear about from LJ. So why don't I just take a quick look at that under in the Steelers spot, sitting at 42 at BetCris, 41.5 at Pinnacle, juice to the under, and this opened up at 41 and it immediately went up to 42. I'm going to leave it off. I'm going to leave it off here. I'm going to leave it off at this point. So I'm going to leave it off. I'm not going to add either of those two leans. I'm just going to delete them and stick with my 10 bets. Again, with 4-1 in college, 3-1 in CFL, feeling good about everything here. So we heard from Razor Sharp Picks. He's on the Texans +3. That is the gambler's first glance. He's on the Patriots +6. And he's also on that Chiefs Jets under with me for the Sunday Nighter. All right, then we have Bobano on the over 52.5 in Miami, Buffalo. Over 52.5 on Miami, Buffalo. We have the over 46 in Minnesota, Carolina for Bobano. The over 46.5 in Denver, Chicago. We have the Browns +2. And we have, he left off Rams, Colts with some concerns. He's on the Bucks +4.5 and the over 39.5 in Tampa, New Orleans. And he's on the Commanders +10 at -115 and the Raiders +7 at -112 with the over 47.5 in the Raiders Chargers game. Then Birdie joined us. He's on the Colts money line and the under 45.5. He put together a parlay. He cheated the Bengals Titans total to 45.5 and took the Broncos money line, which gave him a +138. Bengals Titans, he decided to stay off. But I guess he cheated the total. So sorry about that. Then Chargers money line, Pittsburgh money line, parlay for him at +144. He's on the Ravens money line, Vikings money line at +163. He's on Dallas -6 at -105, and he's on a Cowboys Seattle money line parlay at +151. And he has the I stayed off of the Buck spot. He did add Washington +10. So we both have him and Bobano on the Commanders at +10. Then Big Ragu is on the under 53.5 in Miami, Buffalo, and the Bills -2.5. He's on the Broncos -3 at even money. He's on the Bucks under 41 at -106 and the Bucks +4.5. And he's on the first half under 23 in Seattle, New York Giants, as well as a teaser. The Big Ragu is on Baltimore +4 and the Chiefs -2. And Big Ragu on this show after 2 appearances is 13-5 +8.77 units. LJ from H-Town on the first half under 19.5 at -119 in Baltimore, Cleveland. That is as well as Flash. They're both on that. And LJ doubled up. He's also on the full game under 38.5. LJ's on the under 42 here with Pittsburgh, Houston. Let's grab that right now. Pittsburgh, Houston. And we have the CJ Stroud over 32.5 pass attempts. Chargers first half -3.5. Herbert over 1.5 touchdowns with his over 282.5 passing yards at +133. 49ers team total over 27.5. Kittle's over 41.5 receiving yards. And his best bet prop of the day is McCaffrey and Moody. McCaffrey anytime touchdown. Moody over 1.5 field goals. That's at +114. Flash gave us first half under 19.5 at -119 in Baltimore, Cleveland. He gave us the Bengals -2.5, the Chiefs first half -4.5, and the Seahawks -1.5. And then he gave us the Arsenal Atletico Madrid moneyline parlay for the Champions League. Clint just joined us and he gave us the over 44 in Rams Colts. Anthony Richardson anytime touchdown +100. Roshan Johnson over 31.5 rush yards and anytime touchdown +225. And he has Justin Tucker over 1.5 field goals at even money and no touchdown in Browns Ravens at 50-1. Wham is not showing up here for his spot. So we have Dave Rogers joining us shortly, but we have a ringer who is joined to jump on and give us a few bets of his own action. So let's hear what he has to say and bring on the star of Say Hey Plays of the day and the producer of this very show. Please welcome Jose Bouquet to the show. Jose, how are you?
Doing well. Excited to jump in here and talk about my Cappers contest pick and my survivor pick that is not the San Francisco 49ers. So I hope they lose today.
Let's hear your plan of attack. What is your Capper contest action?
So we'll start with the obvious one. I had this yesterday. I had this all week. I'm the lone guy that just does not believe in the Browns. I didn't believe in Deshaun Watson. Shout out to BJ, who earlier in the week told us immediately when it happened that it was his throwing shoulder hadn't thrown. So I kind of had a feeling that DTR was going to be in this game the whole time. So I took the Ravens. I'm not going to make them official now because of the line, but I do like the Ravens here as well. So I have them official, but that's the one Cappers contest play I will not make official currently. Second one is in the bum fight of all bum fights, of course, Denver, Chicago. Denver, I don't know why they're laying points. I get that they're, maybe better coach, better quarterback, but I like Justin Fields to run all over the field today. I think Sean Payton's washed, and I think Bears snapped their losing streak. So I like the Bears +3, and I like the money line as well.
Are these going to be official picks for your record here on the show?
Yeah, I'll make them official here as well. I did pretty well last time. I think I went 3-2 last time I was on the program. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, all these picks except for the Ravens are going to be official.
All right. Well, let's get you. So you want to double up. You want money line at plus 140. So Bears at plus 140 here, and then the points. I'll line shop there. Keep going. Keep rolling. What's next?
At the Astros, the Houston team that I can't think of right now, the Texans. Jesus. Against my Steelers, who I've been high on all year, but I think CJ Stroud is just good. And Kenny Pickett might just end up being bad here. So I like the Texans. I got them plus 2.5 in the contest. So I'll take them 3, and I'll take them money line as well.
All right. So you got the Bears money line and the plus 3 at minus 110. And then I will line shop for you on Texans money line and the spread. Keep rolling, my man.
Raiders. I think I told you on Thursday, Jimmy, that I'd be very much okay with Aiden O'Connell starting this game. And now that he is officially, I'm glad. He might end up being better than Jimmy Jesus here. And what we have to realize as a capping organization here is that this year, if you're on the concussion protocol, you are probably out that next week. They've obviously made some changes to it to make it a little harder to guys to come back same week. So concussion protocol usually means you're out now, I guess. So I expected Aiden O'Connell in. Like I said on Thursday, I didn't think they would throw him in the middle of that game. Then they have Hoyer there, who's done that billions of times. And now they got Aiden O'Connell a full week of preparation. So I know it's a battle of two shitty coaches, but I'll take the Raiders here. And like we mentioned it, Jimmy, that Chargers home atmosphere is going to be 80% Raiders fans, I think. So Raiders here for me.
Do you want to pay for the 7?
No, I'll take the 6.5, and I'll take spread and money line here as well. Again.
Wow. Big balls. All right. Let's lock that in for you. Plus 6.5, and I'll do the money line. What's your final spot?
My final pick is my survivor pick, which is probably the second most popular pick this week. Manders Eagles here, and I'm on the Eagles, of course. Survivor pick. I'll make them official at the spread as well. It's just one of those cases where the offensive line for the Manders is really, really bad. And the defensive line for the Eagles is, maybe their best part, if not the offensive line. So I think the Eagles defensive line just eats. Sam Howell looks horrible. And I think the Eagles roll here, especially at home. Obviously, like you guys mentioned as well, they beat them last year. So ultimate motivation, like your senses are all tuned up because this team is beating you, so you can't let that happen again. And they're undefeated, and they're at home. So Eagles for me here, survivor pick, and I'll take them minus the 9 or whatever we get now.
Minus 8.5. At minus 110. Thank you for jumping in, Jose. Bears money line plus 140 and the plus 3 at minus 110. Texans money line plus 131 and the plus 3 at minus 115. Raiders plus 6.5 minus 105 and the money line plus 245. And the Eagles minus 8.5 at minus 110. Jose, thank you for jumping in. We are good to go. We have our next guests, our final 2 guests ready to go, and we're right on time. So let's roll. Thank you guys, both of the guys backstage, for jumping in real quickly when I sent the message to you guys when Wham Bam didn't show up. So let's bring on your next guest. He had a great debut here on our show on week 2, making his NFL Pub Hub debut. He went 3-1 plus 1.77 units. And if you are following at Picks from Dave, you know how hot he is right now. He is cashing. And I also got to jump on his Saturday college football show yesterday with my mom and have a shot of Kraken with him and the squad. Please welcome Dave Rogers to the show. Dave, how are you, my friend?
Good. Good morning. How was dinner?
Oh, it was great. Mexican restaurant and the Canelo fight, and it was like, a live band before a Canelo fight and big screen and fucking tequila and fucking beer. It was perfect, and we enjoyed very much being on your show, my guy. So thank you for having us. AOD is calling you the OnlyFans whisperer. We do miss the unmuted mic. I know we got to get to work here, but please tell me it's coming back.
It's not dead. It's dormant. There needs to be some changes made. So when those changes are made, we'll come back. But I still have a little stable of guests. That's a really horrible way of putting it, but that's how I'm gonna say it. and we just need to work out some kinks. But when those get worked out, we're coming back.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's get right to work. You have a high octane game right off the hop. Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills at Highmark Stadium. Take it away, my friend.
Yeah, I'll rip through these as quick as I can. I have more plays usually than I usually do. Today, it's just a day that I really like. I look at indexes when I start my NFL capping. I see a point of value to Buffalo. I also see a team at home that is getting a number under 3 against a team that just scored 70 points. I'm not as high on Miami as everyone is. Their offense is great. I think they're producing higher than expected value. So if you're giving me something that on an index where my numbers are saying this team should be 1 point more of a favorite and it crosses through a key number, I'm taking Buffalo. I think that's actually a really popular pick this week, but that's my first pick.
I'm right with you here. I'm right with you. It's bouncing around to the 2.5s juiced and the 3s at plus money. The best 2.5 we can give you looks like a minus 120, minus 118 at Heritage. Is that cool? Minus 2.5, minus 118.
Perfect.
All right, let's lock that in. Bills minus 2.5 and minus 118. I bet it on Tuesday at minus 120. I'm right there with you. I'm also on the first half under in that one. And we have a lot of cappers loving this bum fight at Soldier Field. And I love it, man. I love that people are hammering away. You know, you find an edge, you make the bet. Doesn't matter how shitty the football teams are. Look, we both were on Western Michigan. No one wanted to talk Western Michigan, Ball State, but we did, Dave, and we got that money, Dave. Take it away, Broncos, right. Bears.
Yeah, this is an absolute bum fight, and I'm kind of blown away with all the Bronco love. They're a really bad team. It's not just the players; it's the organization. We've seen them make bad decisions, from Nathaniel Hackett to bringing back the coach this year. I have again in the situation. It's the hook on the other side of a key number where I'm getting at least a point of value for that team with my numbers, and that's the Chicago Bears. The hook is everything in both these games I'm talking about. I'm taking 3.5 with the Bears at home. Absolutely two horrible teams, but I will say that the best player on the field, in my opinion, will be Justin Fields. So that's another little lean towards the Bears, but I'm kind of blown away by all the Denver love. But I'm on Chicago with the hook, 3 in the hook.
The 3.5 is very expensive now. There's been a big move towards the Bears. So it's very expensive. The cheapest I can find it right now. And if anybody can help, please do, because it screws Dave coming on last. But the plus 3.5. Oh, that's a little. It's minus 138 is the best one I can find.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm not going to not take the hook. I guess I'll lay the juice. I got it at minus 115, but that makes me feel better anyways. The book's reacting to the pressure, so I'll lay the juice. I have another juicy bet too. So,
hey, look, you are cashing at a high level, and that's all that matters is what your unit record is, what the record says you are. Let's move on to the next spot here. Rams, Colts, and we talked about this game on your show last night, and I'm nervous. I'm nervous about my action, and you're about to make me more nervous. So take it away, Rams, Colts.
Yeah, I've actually got 3 plays in this game, 1 on the side, and then 3 plays. No, I have 2 plays. I'm sorry. 1 prop, 1 side play. I'm on the Rams here. Again, I'm seeing value with the number. I'm also this move towards the Rams, and really you'd think about it with the adjustments that Indianapolis made and getting a legitimate coach, that they might be a little bit better this year. I don't think so. I think that organization has some issues. I don't think the Rams lost that much. I mean, is Cooper Kupp back this week? Do we know? That didn't even go into my cap. Either way, It doesn't matter. I think without him, they're still a decent team. I think they've been disrespected. We won some money with them covering spreads this year. And like I said, Indianapolis, with their star running back sitting out essentially, and their quarterback, their new quarterback that might already be injury prone and his career might be affected already. Either way, I'm taking the Rams here at a pick'em.
Yeah, minus 118 right now. The pick'em is the minus 1 or 1.5. So we'll give you the money line at minus 118. Talk about this player prop you're on, because you've been cashing on it week after week.
Yep. And I have to give LJ credit too, because he is the field goal prop whisperer. If I'm the OnlyFans whisperer, that's what he is. We we came to this bet at the same time a couple weeks ago, and that is the Rams, who just kick a ton of field goals. They get field goals attempts. They've had 11 of them. Their kicker has made 9 of them. They're tops in the league with field goal attempts per game. And that's Brett Mayer. I have his points over 6.5 at -114. So there needs to be 3 field goals or an extra point, something of that nature. I think there's plenty of chances, and I really like that bet. I got it at -114, over 6.5 points.
You got it over 6.5 points at -114. Sorry, I said yes, AO to you, AOD. I meant to say it to Saturated, asking if Puka Nacua is playing. He is playing. He will be there. Mayor over 6.5 points at -114, and the Rams money line. We move over to Buccaneers at New Orleans Saints. I loved Ragu's breakdown. It made me feel a little better, but you make moves early in the week to beat line moves, and I guess I beat almost all of them, but this one makes me look like an ass clown. I have the Bucs +3 at even money. Take it away for us, Dave. Buccaneers, Saints.
Well, I'm on the same side, but I got the hook with it too. I think that not a Baker Mayfield fan, that's for sure. He's had points at this time, points in this year that he's looked good. Others he hasn't looked so great. But I think New Orleans is extremely overrated. One of the most overrated teams coming into the season. I said anyone can win this division. It's absolute crap. And then if you've got finger-licking Jameis Winston at quarterback, I'll look at the other side all day long. If you're giving me 3 and a hook, I'm getting 2 points of value on my index. I'm going with Tampa Bay, 3.5.
Well, it's 4.5 now, and
okay,
Derek Carr will be playing. So we'll see.
I didn't know either of those. I woke up late today, so I'm still gonna take the Bucs.
With that 4.5, so you can get +5 at -109.
Wonder why what did Ragu say? I didn't watch the show before. What did Ragu say?
He's on the Bucs at +4.5. He
give me all the points you can. I mean, I don't care. Let's go.
+5 -109 for our guy Dave Rogers. Then we have Sunday night action, which is great because we have our Sunday night live stream. So and then we also have another player. We have player props after this, but this is a total, and I'm on it right with you. Take it away. MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Our Sunday night live stream, Chiefs Jets.
We'll make this easy. Primetime unders have hit over 60% since the beginning of last season. I like to, in my capping, for all the time we spend diving into things, when I have something that's simple that's working, why overthink it? I wouldn't call it an auto bet, but it's almost that. Primetime unders in the NFL, I'm on the under.
And you can get a 42 at -114 over at Pinnacle. By the way, the Chiefs just moved to 7.5 at a couple books. 7.5. The under 42 -114. It's the only 42 for that cheap. Joe Yurich on the Jets team total over 15.5. Then we go back to 1 p.m. action. This is popping off in 12 minutes. You have 2 player props in the game that I'm on the over. And if you are right here, I imagine that I will cash the over. Take it away, Vikings, Panthers.
Vikings are the number 1 team in pass attempts, last team in the NFL at rush attempts. So that means they're one-dimensional. So key in on Kirk Cousins. He also averages over 45 attempts himself per game. The passing attempts that I got was 35.5 at -117. Take Kirk Cousins' pass attempts over. And then obviously his number 1 weapon, Justin Jefferson. I took a little bit of a juicy bet on this one. His reception 6.5 at -154, but you could ladder that up. I think the guy averages double-digit attempts per game or passes thrown to. So take Kirk Cousins and then pick your poison with any of his receivers. But I'm going to go to Justin Jefferson. It's the easiest one to go to. Receptions over 6.5.
Over 6.5 receptions. Kirk Cousins pass attempts over 35.5. Then we have the under 42 in Chiefs Jets. The Bucs +5. Mare points 6.5 over 6.5 -114. The Rams money line -118. Bears +3.5 -138. Bills -2.5 -118 for Dave Rogers, making his second appearance here on NFL Pub Hub after going 3-1 +1.77 units in week 2. Dave, I know that you have the very, very long stream on Saturday, so thank you for making time for us bright and early over on the West Coast. So thank you so much for being a part of this show. Please follow Picks from Dave on X, but also on his YouTube channel at Picks from Dave. Great job, buddy. Thank you for being a part of this.
Shout out, guys. Good luck, Jimmy. Good luck, chat. We'll see you.
There he is, Dave Rogers. And our next guest, you will be seeing a lot more of him on this show as we move forward because baseball's regular season is coming to a close, and he dominated, especially in September. What a season for him. And it shows everybody that you get, and it goes with everything in life, but especially in capping, you get what you get back what you put in. And what we've seen him do with his big black book in the pitching prop market has been nothing short of spectacular. And he's here to rock with us right now because he is the star of our show that starts in 10 minutes, NFL Red Zone. Also, of course, the star of The Walking Dead. Please welcome Sharpie to the show. Sharpie, how are you?
Oh, another day in paradise, bro. Can't complain at all, bro. Chilling. High, maybe not high enough, but we'll get there. Had to move my coffee pot and everything right here for the play-by-play of Red Zone. That way I don't get up. That way you don't got to listen to Pee Wee Herman. You can, look at somebody who like, oh, fuck, he might fucking sodomize my wife if I say something to him. I'm going to listen to this guy called play-by-play, but you might want to listen to my bets too.
Sharpie, my guy, coming in guns a-blazing. You've got action here, making your season debut on NFL Pub Hub, and we've had a lot of cappers talk about this bum fight. Sharpie, you are no different. Broncos, Bears for your first action of the year here on the show. Take it away.
You said it best on your breakdown with Troy on the NFL Blitz that you guys do on Tuesday, but a bankroll blitz. But, if you're not betting this game, I don't want to be fucking friends with you, bro. I just don't, bro. This is fucking gold, bro. Yes, I have the fucking Broncos on my fucking 5 pick, bro, at the end of the day. If you're not betting this game, don't ever talk to me, please. So, getting right into it, guys, we're going to take Javonte Williams from the Broncos for a full unit, over 67.5 rushing receiving yards, guys. It's an easy bet. At the end of the day, these Bears, we know they suck. Let's talk a little numbers. They faced 3 running backs so far. Technically, Green Bay runs a 2-back system. We'll just look at Aaron Jones's 11 touches for 127 total yards. Let's hop to the next game, the Bucs, bro. White went out there, 22 touches, 103 yards. Oh, how about Pacheco, who also splits carries, had 17 touches on 78 yards. Nah. This is Javonte Williams' get right day. We get a low number because they go off of 3 games. They're going to take that and they're going to hit that average. Well, guess what? Nah. Javonte Williams wasn't Javonte Williams the first game back. If you know anything about him, he got hurt last year. Cool. Well, now he ain't fucking hurt, guys. He was 9th in the league with 3.78 yards after contact. These Bears don't even want to make contact. And I'm going to double up in this spot, guys. I'm taking Javonte Williams touchdown at plus 106 and 2 touchdowns at plus 600. The Bears are 21st in the league in allowing rushing touchdowns, 1.3 touchdowns a game. If the Bears hang in this, I expected it's because it's a shootout and they could hang with Denver. Denver's problems ain't been their offense. It's been their defense. At the end of the day, this guy's had nothing less than 16 touches in a game so far this year. You give me those 16 touches, and this dude has a fucking day versus this Bears defense.
I love it. I love the breakdown. 67.5 rushing receiving. Is that at minus 110?
15.
Minus 115. Sharpie firing shots. Williams over 67.5 rush and receiving. Anytime touchdown plus 106. And Dose touchdowns at plus 600. And his show pops off in 7 minutes. You will go directly to that show from here. We have a redirect, so you'll go directly over there.
I'm going to throw you a curveball, Jimmy.
Yeah.
We got 7 minutes. I got a shaved head. I've got these nice charger bolts on my head right here, bro. And they got 17 on the back, bro, because Phillip Rivers is that dude. He just ain't a Hall of Famer. I got another bet, bro. I had to put it in. And I was like, you know what? If I got time, I got to talk about it.
Let's do it.
So, Quentin fucking Johnson's receiving yards is 28.5. I laughed. I hammered that shit. I knew when we drafted this kid in the first round that he was going to be a part of our offense. I get it, guys. Palmer, he going to see his action, but we run a 3 wide receiver set, Kellen Moore type offense. We're going to throw the ball 40, 50 fucking times a game. Oh, Lord, this guy cashes in the first half. Quentin Johnson over 28.5 receiving yards was a fucking joke. And minus 115 is that one as well.
I love it. I love it. We have a fired up Sharpie 6 minutes away from kickoff at 1 p.m. Please join that show, Sharpie. It's a great show. The graphics are great. It's a great show. Our NFL Red Zone starring Sharpie's Bets. Sharpie, what else is going on with you, my guy? Because I know that the regular season is closing and everybody's been asking what Sharpie's going to be up to. So what is the answer to that?
Fucking nothing, bro. My life is fucking nothing. I'm gonna sit here and watch more football shows and do what I do, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, just keep doing me. And me is me, which is not okay with everybody else.
I love it. And Sharpie will be joining us at halftime of our live streams. Please follow him on Twitter at Sharpie's Bets. There we go. That was Quentin Johnson over 28.5 receiving yards at -115. So let's review all action. He also gave us the Javonte Williams props that we just spoke of. Then from Dave Rogers, Cousins pass attempts over 35.5. Justin Jefferson receptions over 6.5. The under 42 in Chiefs Jets. The Bucks +5 at -109. Brett Maher points over 6.5 -114, and the Rams money line. And then he's on the Bears +3.5, and the Bills -2.5. So and Spenny loves the Quentin Johnson look. Got it at 25.5. I love it. So then Michael next up for us is he was not here. So I have his looks, but I won't share it because he was not here. Clint McLean, no touchdown Browns Ravens at 50-1. Justin Tucker over 1.5 field goals at even money. Rashawn Johnson over 31.5 rush yards and anytime touchdown +225. Anthony Richardson anytime touchdown at +100 and the over 44 at -110. Flash joined us and talked about the two-dick dog that we think we'll continue talking about for the rest of time. He gave us also an Arsenal Atletico Madrid moneyline parlay. But here in football, Seahawks -1.5. We're going to go heads up in that game, and he's going to join us on the Monday night. Chiefs first half -4.5 for the Sunday nighter. We'll be there tonight. Bengals -2.5 and the first half under 19.5 in Baltimore, Cleveland. The best bet prop of the day from our guy LJ is McCaffrey anytime touchdown and Moody over 1.5 field goals. What the? I guess sorry, I'm realizing now when I skipped over Wham Bam stuff, I missed Jose's action, who came in as our Dennis Eckersley when we needed him. Bears money line for Jose at +140 and the +3 at -110. Texans money line +131, the +3 -115. Raiders +6.5 and money line +245, and the Eagles -8.5 for Jose Bouquet. And then, as I was saying, for our guy LJ. Sorry, move over here for our guy LJ. That McCaffrey Moody prop, that's at +114. He's also on Kittles over 41.5 receiving yards, and the 49ers team total over 27.5. Chargers first half -3.5, and he's got a Herbert same game parlay over 1.5 touchdowns and the over 282.5 passing yards. That's a +133. He's got the under 42 in Steelers, Texans, and Stroud over 32.5 pass attempts. Then he has the first half under 19.5 and full game under 38.5 in Baltimore, Cleveland. We have a teaser from Ragu, Baltimore +4 and Chiefs -2. I guess, Chiefs -2. Yeah. So then we have the first half under 23 in Seattle, New York Giants. Ragu's on the Bucks under 41, the Bucks +4.5. He's on the Broncos -3. He's on the under 53.5 and the Bills -2.5. And again, he's our leader in NFL PubHub this year, 13-5 +8.77 units. Then we have Birdie, who's on Washington +10 at -115. He is on Dallas -6 at -105 and a Cowboys Seattle moneyline parlay. He's on the Ravens moneyline, Vikings moneyline parlay at +163, and he is on the Chargers and Steelers moneyline parlay at +144, and he is on a Broncos moneyline and Bengals Titans under 45.5 parlay. That's at +138, and he's on the Colts moneyline and the under 45.5 in Colts Rams. Then we had Bobano on the Raiders +7 and the over 47.5. The Commanders +10, Buccaneers +4.5 and the over 39.5 in that one. And then we have him on the Browns +2 at -110, the over 46.5 in Denver, Chicago, the over 46 in Minnesota, Carolina, and the over 52.5 in Miami, Buffalo. And that is our show for today. We are 2 minutes away from kickoff. Thank you so much for all of you guys joining us. We have nothing without you guys. Big Daddy Boom, Leo Leon, Scotty Foster, Saturated, Terry Walker, Nasty, Nate, Spenny, Penny Bombs, AOD, Dan Pancoast, Harold Williams, the Cheshire Cat. God, God, that's been a long weekend, dude. Nunya in the house. Nunya's on over 1.5 field goals and Chargers over 1.5 field. So Ravens over 1.5 field goals, Chargers over 1.5 field goals. Rams win race to 10. That's plus 428. That's the Nunya business parlay of the day. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this show. And Razor just added the Bills minus 2.5 and Eagles Commanders under 43. I love that, Razor, and thank you for sharing that. Terry Walker on the Bengals minus 3 and the Vikings minus 4. And I am on Bills minus 2.5, Miami, Buffalo, first half under 27, Baltimore, Cleveland under 41, Cincinnati, Tennessee under 41.5, the Colts minus 1, Tampa Bay plus 3, Tampa Bay, New Orleans under 40.5, Minnesota, Carolina over 45.5, Kansas City, New York Jets under 42.5, New York Giants minus 1. And let's pull out a giant ball of Kraken and bless the NFL gods to get us that goddamn paper today. Thank you to my producer, Jose Bouquet, who does such a great job and works tirelessly to make these shows look good. Thank you, Jose, and thank you for coming on when we had a guest not show up. That means a ton to me. Thank you, Jose. And let's go out there and get that money. Okay, let's go out there and get paid in full. Thank you for supporting our show here. Now let's go out there and get that cash.